Hey guys, J0, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land. Whatever part of the world that you are in, you only get one arm today because my shoulder hurts and I just don't feel like raising both my arms. So I feel like my bucket's going to give out on me here soon. But Henry, I hope this is a better scenery for you to try to watch. I know you're not a big fan of the coffee chats because of the scenery, so maybe this will help out a little bit. Embrado, holy crap, that's good coffee right back at you, brother. No more coffee for you, pork chop. Remember you got crazy last time. No. Anyway, I went to see my doctor, and just as I had suspected, my blood pressure was out of whack pretty good. So she's prescribed me some blood pressure meds, and I'm taking them, and I go back next month for a follow-up, and I was going to keep following up with her until I get myself back up to 100%. A couple of days before I went to the doctor, I got some real nasty cold, flu, something or other, and it really kicked my butt, man. It was a bad summer cold, Ori is the worst anyway. So she put me on some antibiotics for those, for the cold, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I can tell a difference in how I'm feeling, so hopefully here soon I'll be back up to 100%, and we'll get going, which is good because we're getting into hunting season and firewood season, and I need to be able to get out and get things done. Thank you very much for all of the well wishes and the prayers. It was greatly appreciated, and it definitely helps. So. And another thing that I want to kind of talk about is I get questions about money. How do we live? How do you make a living? You're not all the way off grid and you don't have a job. How do you make it? One, and I don't mean to sound, I don't know, like a dick, excuse my language, but it's not really anybody's business. I live for a living, and just because I don't go out and clock in somewhere and work for somebody else for a paycheck doesn't mean that I'm not able to make any money. Yes, my YouTube channel helps, and it helps with our monthly expenses, but that's not what we depend on. We don't depend on our channel. What we depend on is our ability to save money by doing things ourselves, using what we have, bartering for things, and just doing, I tell my kids 50 cents a day. If we can save 50 cents a day, that is $182.50 over the course of the whole year. Well, that's almost a whole month's worth of utility expenses just by, making sure that you turn the lights off, or making sure that, you don't have a TV on when somebody's not watching it, or, cooking outside on a fire versus turning on your stovetop or something. Just little things like that save money. Even at night, we go out in the summer and the fall, there's a lot of crickets around our little wood piles here and there, and we'll go out and we'll catch, as many crickets as we can, and we'll use that to feed the chickens for the next day or two, because that helps cut down on the feed cost. And if I could go out for an hour and catch, 100 crickets, and that helps keep my chicken feed cost down for the next day, and if I save myself 50 cents, then to me it's worth it. Some things you have to let go. If you don't need 4 car payments and having 4 insurances and stuff like that, then let some of that stuff go. Instead of driving a brand new vehicle, drive a used vehicle, something that's cost less, that you can carry less insurance on. It's just all about saving as much as you can and being as efficient as I can. And this is just me. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not a moneyologist or none of that kind of crap. This is just what I've been doing over the course of the soon-to-be 10 years to be able to live the way that I live. I also have kind of drawn a line for myself, meaning when is it enough? When is it enough? I mean, do I always want to have more? Because to me, pretty soon, I'm going to become greedy. And that was a problem that I had with my previous life, was greed. When you have always that desire to want more, whatever you have is never good enough. You always want more. You want better. You want newer. You want shinier. You want bigger. Whatever the cost may be, it soon it turns into greed, and greed starts eating a hole inside of you that will never be filled because it's going to be always open and you're always wanting more. So I tell myself I need to have just right around $800 a month to pay my bills and to get by. And that's not a lot because we try to cut ourselves back as much as we can. And anything over that is gravy. It's just all extra gravy on the biscuit. Anything over that amount is a blessing, and we try to use it to the best that we can. These last couple months, with the air conditioner going and the heat, and me being not as healthy as I could have been, money's really tight right now because of the fact that I didn't make anything extra. We have enough. We've got our stuff paid, and I thank God for that. But everything else, the projects and stuff, will just simply have to be put on hold for now, because I don't ever want to put myself in a position to where I'm greedy and I want to always say it's never enough. I always want more. I have taught myself to be happy and content with what I have, and not be a consumer, as BC Truck says. I don't want to always be the guy that's in the store looking at the latest, greatest thing and figuring out how I'm going to get it, or putting myself into more debt or something like that in order to be able to get it. I'm content with life. I'm content with where we are. We're fed. We have a roof, and my kids are happy and on the honor roll. And everything else is, like I said, just gravy on top of the biscuit. Everything else is extra blessings. So, hi dogs. I've taught myself to be thankful for what we have and to consider what we have enough. And that's just me. That's how I conduct my life. So there's plenty of ways that we can make money in order to pay our bills. We're in the summertime, we throw hay. We raise a lot of rabbits, we raise a lot of chickens, we sell eggs. Soon we're going to be raising pigs and selling pigs. That's going to be a big help in the springtime, coming out of the wintertime. Firewood, hides, selling and making stuff with skins and hides. There's all kinds of ways to make cash money. Some days we may make $3. We may only sell, a couple of dozen eggs and make $3. Other days we may make, a whole bunch of money, several $100s selling a couple loads of firewood, some bunch of chickens, a bunch of rabbits, whatever it is. And then we will budget that money out to make it stretch and make it last. And then once our bills are paid for the month, and anything extra that we have will go towards any kind of materials that we may need for something that we'd like to have. Something that, like the greenhouse materials. So I take things really slowly and I live very simply. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to do that. It's okay to not have the latest, greatest things. It's okay not to have a fancy, shiny car. There's an old saying, however much money you make, that's how much money it takes to live. And I have found that to be absolutely true. So as far as people asking me how I make money, there you have it. There's all kinds of ways to make money. When you're self-employed like I am and we work for ourselves, I don't have to get up and go clock in and depend on some other dude to pay me money for my labor to get what I need for my family. We just kind of cut out the middleman and we figure out ways on our own to get what we need for our family. And I hope that makes sense. I know, man, that's just how it is. I hope that makes sense. A lot of folks have trouble letting go of the latest, greatest things. They want to have their 700 channels on TV. They want to have their brand new fancy cars, and that's okay, man. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Me, I was unable to afford it, and I was not willing to push myself into debt or into any kind of a situation where I'm going to give up one thing to keep something that wasn't absolutely necessary. And I feel like I'm, a little bit more free for that. I don't know how else to describe it. To me, it's a feeling of a little bit more freedom for myself because, I go to bed when I want to go to bed. I wake up when I want to wake up. The days when I'm sick and I don't feel like doing a whole lot, I can do just the bare minimum and make sure my critters are taken care of. Then I can rest and relax and try to recuperate. And whenever I know that there's going to be a need for extra money, then I can take that time and cut extra firewood or make other arrangements to get extra cash money to do whatever it is that I need to do. So for those who say that it's impossible to live on a homestead and to make a living on a homestead, It's not if you're willing to make some sacrifices and some changes in the lifestyle. It's absolutely possible because there's a lot of people that do it. Just because we have internet and make videos doesn't mean that we have a whole lot of extra money, because we do not. I do this. I make videos because I like to encourage people, that you can do whatever you set your mind out to do. And with a little bit of self-esteem, a little bit of faith in yourself, and a little bit of faith in God, you would be surprised what you could get accomplished when you put your mind to it and just get out and get her done. So I hope that helps, y'all. I hope that makes sense. You guys, I will be getting into some projects here as soon as we get the materials, and as soon as I start feeling a little bit better. I've got a couple things that I'm going to be doing here soon and sharing with you. We're going to be doing some cooking in our sun oven today, and we'll probably make a video about that because I haven't seen anybody do what I'm going to do, and it works. So just kind of thinking outside the box. Okay, guys, you guys have a great day. Thank you again very much for all the well wishes and the prayers. It helps, and it means a lot, and I really appreciate it. God bless. Yeah. Buzz, buzz, the end.